Assalamualaikum student. I'm your maths teacher from IVS school. First of all, I like to share some instruction that you must have take a screenshots of every slide that will be shared and do your all work on your geometry copies. So today we start a new chapter that is about quadrilateral. Quadrilateral, and in a quadrilateral we will uh, consider definitions of a quadrilateral, kinds of a quadrilateral, and construction of a quadrilateral. So here first we discuss definition of a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral just means four side. Quad means four and lateral means sides. A quadrilateral has four sides. It is two dimensional, a flat shape or closed shape. Two-dimensional means it has length and breadth. The lines join up and has straight sides. Okay. Close means all the lines are joined up together and has a straight sides. I hope you will understand that quadrilateral means any closed bounded figure which has four sides, and it is also a two-dimensional. That is, it has a flat shape, or we can say that it has length and breadth as well. Okay, so here is the diagram to show a flow chart to show a types of quadrilateral. So types of quadrilateral are parallelogram, kite, and trapezoid. And parallelogram is further divided into two types, that is rectangle, rhombus, and rhombus is also included in a kite. And rectangle and rhombus are also further included in a square. So in our topic, we just study about the parallelogram, rectangle, and square. Okay. So here is the properties of quadrilateral. A quadrilateral has four sides as we have discussed and four vertices, or we can say that four corners. As you can see that below we have shown you the diagrams of a two quadrilateral. So you can count the corners of a quadrilateral and all of them are four vertices or four corners. And the interior angles that add to 360 degree. It's mean interior angles means the angles which are formed by the two segments of a quadrilateral or a closed figure. So the angle which is formed inside the closed figure is considered as an interior angle. So when we add the measure of all the four sides of a quadrilateral is always equals to a 360. As you can see that here many angles are given, and here we have also some 90-degree angles. So the sum is always 360. Now we are moving toward the properties of a quadrilateral. The more and the further properties of a quadrilateral. So first we discuss the sides of a quadrilateral. As you can see in our diagrams that quadrilateral have the four sides and each vertex are named as A, B, C and D. So four sides are AB, BC, CD and DA. These are the four sides of quadrilateral. Now, what are the opposite sides? Sides of a quadrilateral are further divided into two types, that is opposite sides and adjacent sides. So, what is opposite sides? The sides which are opposite to each other are called opposite side. For example, AB and CD are the two opposite sides. And similarly, AD and BC are the two opposite sides. As here you can see that the opposite of AB is CD. So, these are two opposite lines and these are two opposite lines. Now the adjacent or consecutive side. So adjacent sides means the sides which are along with each other. Means AB and BC are the adjacent side. So here is the AB and this one is the BC. So AB has two adjacent sides, that is BC and AD as well. Okay. Similarly, AD also have two adjacent sides, that is AB and DC. Similarly, DC also have two adjacent sides, that is AD and BC. Every side of the quadrilateral is linked to the other two sides. That is AB is linked to the AD and AB is linked to the BC. So that's why we say that every side has its two adjacent side. So we can say that AB is adjacent to BC and AB is also adjacent to AD. Now the vertices of a quadrilateral. 4 vertices, point A, B, C, D. As I told you that the corners are considered as a vertices of a quadrilateral. Now the angles of a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral have 4 angles, that is angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. The angle which is formed by AD and AB. These two segments make an angle, angle A. So this is the angle A. And here is the angle B, and this one is the angle C, and this one is the angle D. So angle ABC is the first angle which is formed by which is formed at a vertex B, and angle BCD is the second angle which is formed at a vertex DC, and angle CD is the next angle which is formed at angle D. Now the adjacent angles. Adjacent angle means the angles which are beside with each other. Means angle A is adjacent to angle B. Okay? Or you can also say that angle A and angle B have a common arm. Okay? Angle A and angle B have a common arm. That's why we say that they are two adjacent angles. And similarly, angle B and angle C are also two adjacent angles. Why we say that? Because they have a common arm. Angle C and angle D, both they have a common arm and they are also adjacent angles. Now the opposite angles. Opposite angles are which is just opposite to each other. Means angle A is opposite to angle C and angle D is opposite to angle B. And that's why we say that there are the pairs of opposite angles. Now the total of its interior angles is always equals to 360 degree. If we add all the interior angle of a quadrilateral, it is always equals to 360 degree. So we are moving toward the uh, three shapes, that is parallelogram, rectangle and square. So we discuss in a kinds of quadrilateral, we are only discuss the properties of these two shapes, parallelogram, rectangles and square. So first one is the parallelogram. A parallelogram has opposite side parallel and equal in length. Also opposite angles are equal. So what are the specific properties of a parallelogram is that a parallelogram has opposite sides parallel. Okay, the both the opposite sides, the pair of opposite sides are always parallel and equal in length. Also opposite angles are equal. So what are the opposite angle of parallelogram? The angle P is opposite to angle T and angle Q is opposite to angle R. So we can say that they also are same in measure. Now, square, rectangle, rhombus are all parallelogram. So this is the definition of a parallelogram, that it has opposite sides and equal, which are equal in length and parallel, and opposite angles are also equal. Now here we discuss the properties of a parallelogram. The opposite sides of the parallelogram are the same length. As we have discussed that opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent, or congruent means equal in measure. So what are the opposite sides of a parallelogram? PQ is opposite to RT and PR is opposite to QT. So that's why we say that they are opposite sides, and as they are opposite, so they are also equal in measure. The opposite sides are parallel to each other. This next one is opposite sides are parallel. Yes, they all are parallel with each other. So can you explain what is parallel lines? Do you remember it? The lines which are at equidistance from each other. So that's why we say that they are also parallel. Opposite sides are also parallel and they are also equal in measure. So the diagonals of a parallelogram, the next one is diagonal of a parallelogram bisect each other. As you can see that they have a diagonals. So what are the diagonals? The line segment which join the opposite vertex are known as diagonals. So QR is the segment which join the two opposite vertices. So that's why we say that it is a diagonal. And PT is also a next diagonal. And the property is that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So do you remember what is the meaning of bisect? Means two equal half. It's mean when the two diagonals intersect with each other, they divide the other diagonal or itself in a two equal half. Okay. The opposite angles are of equal measure. So what are the opposite angles? If we consider angle P, so angle P is opposite to angle T and angle Q is opposite to angle R. So these are the opposite angle and opposite angles are equal in measure. This means they are congruent or equal in length. The sum of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are equal to 180 degree. Sum of two adjacent angle equal. So what first we have to understand that what are adjacent angle. If we consider angle R, so angle R is adjacent to angle T and angle R is also adjacent to angle P. So if we add angle R and angle T, it will always equals to 180 degree. Or if we add angle R to angle P, measure of angle R to measure of angle P, so it's again equal to 180 degree. So I mean to say that if we add any two adjacent angles of a parallelogram, is it always equals to 180 degree. Do remember? Okay. Now we are moving toward the next. Take a screenshot of that slide and we will move it toward the next one. Properties of a rectangle. So here we discuss the properties of a rectangle. The opposite sides of a rectangle are of equal length. As you can see that rectangle has the opposite sides. Which one are the opposite side? The opposite side of AB is CD and the opposite side of AD is BC. So the opposite sides of a rectangle are of equal length, means they are same in measure. And the opposite sides are parallel to each other. Yes, they are parallel to each other. Parallel means equal. The lines are at an equidistance. And all the interior angles of a triangle are at 90 degree. So all the angles, as the rectangle is always also a straight diagram, so we can say that all the interiors angles of a rectangle are at 90 degree. Okay. So the diagonal of a rectangle bisect each other. This is the diagonal AC and BD. So these two diagonals divide the other diagonal on itself at two equal parts. So that's why we say the diagonal of a rectangle are bisect each other. So these are the four properties of the rectangle. Now, take a screenshot of this slide and we will move further. Properties of a square. Square and rectangle are same as square. Being a rectangle, a square has all the six properties of a rectangle. In addition, it has the other properties. Do remember it always that parallelogram has all the properties of a quadrilateral and rectangle being a parallelogram has all the properties of a parallelogram and square being a rectangle, a square has all the six properties, all the properties of the rectangle, it has all the properties. In addition, it has the other properties. All the sides of a square are of equal measure. Okay, all the sides of the square are of equal measure. All the sides are equal in measure. The sides are parallel to each other. Yes, AD is parallel to BC and AB is parallel to DC. All the interior angle of a square at 90 degree. It is as similar as in a rectangle. The diagonal of a square the diagonals of a square perpendicularly bisect each other. Okay. Here you can say that we have showed a 90-degree angle. So the diagonals when intersect to each other, so they are bisect each other, means they are divided into two equal parts, and it is also at 90-degree. Now take a screenshot of this slide and we will move further. Now we are discussing the construction of a quadrilateral. So here is the construction of a, first we discuss the construction of a rectangle, then we discuss construction of a square, and then we discuss later on. So construction of a triangle, to understand the construction, we could divide the construction of a rectangle into two cases. Case one is when the measure of its sides are given. Means we have to construct a rectangle when its sides are given. So construct a rectangle PQRS when the measurement PQ is 7 centimeter and measurement PS is 4 centimeter. So let's draw the rectangle by the help of a ruler and pencils and compass. So draw PQ is equals to 7 centimeter. So we take PQ as a baseline. So first we have to draw a line segment as a baseline, PQ 7 centimeter. And now at P, draw perpendicular to PQ. At the point P, you have to draw perpendicular with the help of a protractor. Okay, take a screenshot and these steps will help you that how you draw rectangle in your copies. Now, step number 3, from the PX, the line, what is PX? PX is the perpendicular which we have drawn at the baseline of PQ or at the point P. So PX is the perpendicular, and from that PX, we have to cut P as 4 centimeter. Means put your compass at the point P and draw the arc of 4 centimeter which cut the PX. Okay. So now step number 4, what we have to do? SS center with radius 7 centimeter. Draw an arc. Now we get the point that is we named as S. The arc which cut the PX at the point. So that point is known as, we name that point as S. And now we place the compass on that point S, taking S as a center, and with radius 7 centimeter, draw another arc. Okay. Now, what we have to do again in the next step? Taking Q as a center. So where is the Q? Q is the either side of the baseline, other end of the baseline. So Q as center, draw an arc which cut the first arc at R. So taking Q as a center, we again draw that arc. And that arc again cut the previous arc. And when it cut the previous arc, we get a intersecting point of the two arcs. Okay. So from that intersecting arc, to intersecting point, we have to join it with the Q and we have to join it with the S. Okay. So take a screenshot of this slide and we will move further. I hope you will understand. Step number 6. Join R to Q and R to S. As I told you that by intersecting the two arcs, we get the point and we name it R. Now we have to join R with the Q and R with the S. And now we have a rectangle. PQRS is a required rectangle. I hope you will understand it. I repeat the process. First we draw the baseline PQ. Then we draw perpendicular at P. Then we, taking P as a center, we draw an arc of 4 centimeter. And by drawing this arc on the PX, we get a point which is we named as S. So by taking S as a center, we take an arc of the same length as that of PQ. And after that, we again take Q as a center. And by taking the same length of PS, we again mark a arc or draw an arc which cut the previous arc at the point. And we name that point is R. Now we get the point R and we join that R to Q and we also join that R to S. Now PQRS is the required rectangle. Take a screenshot of this slide and we will move further. Now we discuss the second case of a rectangle when the measure of its one side and diagonal is given. So do you remember what is diagonal? And one side is given. So question is, construct a rectangle ABCD when the measurement AB is 7.8 centimeter and measurement AC is 5.9 centimeter. So for the construction of that rectangle, first we have to draw a baseline. So we take AB as a baseline of 7.8 centimeter. Now in step 2 at B, draw perpendicular BX to AB. As we are going to construct a rectangle, so according to the property of a rectangle, we know that every angle is of 90 degree. So that's why we draw a rectangle in this case, and as well as we have draw perpendicular in the previous case. So at angle B, we draw a perpendicular which is named as BX, okay, at the point B. Now take a screenshot and we will move further. And remember that how we draw the perpendicular by using a protractor. Now in step 3, as A as a center with radius 5.9 centimeter. Draw an arc intersecting BX at C. So why we take A as a center? Because they have given us a diagonal. We don't have a measurement of BC. We have a measurement of a diagonal. So that's why we place the compass at a point A and mark the arc of radius 5.9 centimeter, which cut the BX, the perpendicular, at a point, and we name that point as C. Okay, this is the point, this is the arc which we cut the perpendicular, and that point we named as C. Now A as center with radius BS. Okay, that is the step number 3, that we just draw an arc. Now we are doing the next step. Step number 4, A as a center with radius BC. We get the point BC. So we take the measurement of BC and again taking A as a center and draw an arc. Here is the new arc which we have to draw with the same radius as that of BC. Okay. Take a screenshot and we will move further. Step number 5, C as a center, draw an arc of radius 7.8 centimeter. So in that step, what we are doing, we get a point C. So we place the compass at a point C and take the measurement of AB. Okay. At what measurement? We take the measurement of AB, that is the baseline. So we take the same measurement by taking C as a center. We draw another arc to cut the previous arc, and by that 2 arcs we will get a point that is named as D, and we join that D with the A and D with the C. So we get ABCD is a required triangle, that is ABCD is the required rectangle. Okay, so I repeat the step. First we draw the baseline AB, then I draw a perpendicular with the help of protractor at point B, that is it's of 90 degree, and then taking A as a center, we draw a diagonal, we draw an arc with the radius of a diagonal, and then we take the measurement of BC and taking again A as a center, we draw another arc, and then we take the measurement of AB, that is the baseline. We place the compass on C and draw an arc which cut the first arc. And in this manner, we get a next point that is named as D. Now we join D to C and D to A. Okay, take a screenshot and we will move. Construction of a square. Construction of a square is also required 2 cases. So case number 1 is when the measure of its sides are given. So to construct a square, A, B, C, D, the measure of only one side it's given. Why only one side is given? Because we know very well that is the measurement of all the sides of a square are same. So that's why they have given us just only one side. Now to draw this square, in a first step, we have to draw the baseline, that is a 4.8 centimeter. And at a point B, we again draw perpendicular. And do remember why we draw perpendicular? Because we know that every angle of a square is of 90 degrees. So that's why we draw perpendicular at point B with the help of protractor. Do remember that it is a ray and we named it X. Now, in a step 3, taking B as a center with radius 4.8 centimeter. What is 4.8? This is the side which is given. So draw an arc intersecting BX. This is the perpendicular BX, and by taking B as a center, we place a compass on P, point P, and draw an arc which cut the perpendicular BX at the point. And that point is named as C. Okay, C is the name of that point which cut the perpendicular by the arc. Now, what we will do in the next step? Again, we taking A as a center and we again draw with the same radius, we draw an arc. And why we take a same radius? Because we know that all the sides of the square are of same length. And that's why we taking A as a center and draw another arc. Now, again, in the next step, taking C as a center and we draw another arc which cut the first arc, and that point is the point which we get after the intersection of the two arcs, and we name that point is D. So and that's how we get the point D and C as well. So we join D to C and D to A. So A, B, C, D is the required square. Okay, I repeat the whole steps. First we have to draw the square, and we know very well that the sides of the squares are all of same measure. So that's why they have given us only one side, that is 4.8 centimeter. So first we draw the baseline AB 4.8 centimeter, and then we draw the perpendicular BX with the help of protractor. And why we draw a perpendicular? Because we know that every angle of a square is of 90 degree, and that's why we draw perpendicular. So when we draw the perpendicular, we take again B as a center and we draw an arc, the same measurement, that is 4.8 centimeter. So that's how we get a point that is named as C. And now with the same measurement, we take A as a center and draw another arc of the same measure, that is 4.8 centimeter. And now again taking C as a center, we draw another arc with of same measure and by which cut the first arc at a point. That point is named as D. And now join D to C and D to A. So that's how we get a square which is ABCD. Okay. So this is the whole construction of a square of case 1, that when measure of its sides are given. Now we are moving to the next one, that is case 2, when the measure of its one side and diagonal is given. Okay, one side is given, then the measure of its one side and the diagonal is given. So we have to construct a triangle ABCD when its diagonal is measurement 4.5 centimeter. Now we can, in a step 1, we draw a baseline that is 4.5 centimeter. Now draw EF, right bisector of AC, intersecting it at 0. So how we draw a right bisector? First we draw the line AC, and by drawing this line AC, by taking the two ends of the AC, we open the compass more than the half of the line and we draw 2 points, 2 arcs on the either side of the line. This one and this one. And again, we taking C as a center. We again, with the same radius, we again draw the 2 arc which cut the first 2 arcs on the either side of the line, baseline AC. Now, so in this way, we will bisect the baseline. Draw EF right bisector of AC. This is EF, which is the right bisector of AC intersecting it at 0. So take a screenshot and we will move. Now in the step 3, taking O as a center with radius OA. This is the baseline which we draw by using the given line measurement AC, and after that we bisect it. This is the bisector. And now what we are doing, as we know that we are drawing a square or we construct a square, and a square has all 4 sides equal. So now what we are doing, taking O as a center. So what is O? O is the intersecting point of the bisector and the diagonal. So taking O as a center, we draw 2 arcs. This one, the arc which is indicated by the yellow color. This one and this one. And do remember that this is the point O. The intersecting point is point O. So we intersect 2 arcs on the either sides of the line AC. And now we join that point with the A and the either side of the point with the B, C. And again, we cut the point where we get after intersecting the bisector. We join that point with the A and we join that point which is named as D with the C. So that's how we get a square. I repeat the whole process. First we take the baseline, diagonal as a baseline, that is AC, and we bisect it by drawing a bisector, and after that we get a intersecting point of a diagonal and a bisector, that is O, and from that point we draw the 2 arc on the bisectors. So that's how we get the 2 point B and D. Now we join B with the A and B with the C, and similarly we join D with the A and D with the C. So ABCD is the required square. Take a screenshot and we will move further. Construction of a parallelogram. So in a case 1, when measure of its sides and included angle are given. So we draw the baseline, that is 7 centimeter, and taking A as a center, we draw an angle of 60 degree because one angle is given and the included angle is given and its 2 sides are also given. So taking A as a center, we draw an angle of 60 degree with the help of protractor. Okay, take a screenshot and we name the ray as X. Now in a step 3, A as center with radius 4 centimeter. Taking A as a center with radius 4 centimeter, we draw another arc which intersecting AX at point D. Now again what we are doing, taking B as a center with the same radius, we draw another arc. Why we taking the same radius? Because we know that parallelogram has the equal parallel or opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal in measure. So that's why we taking B as a center and with the same radius we draw another arc. And now by taking another arc in a step 5, what we are doing, taking D as a center of radius 7 centimeter, that is baseline. We taking D as a center with the same radius of AB, we draw another arc. Why we taking the same radius of AB? Because we know that the opposite sides are parallel and equal. And that's why we are construct AD with the same measurement of BC and DC with the same measurement of AB. And ABCD is the required parallelogram. Okay, I repeat the process. First we take the baseline AB, then we draw a 60 degree angle at A, and after that, taking A as the center, we draw the arc AD. And now by taking the same measurement of AD and with the center B, we draw an arc, and After that, taking the same measurement of AB, take and D as a center, we draw another arc which cut the previous arc at a point which we named as C. Now we join C to D and C to B. And that's how we get a ABCD is the required parallelogram. Now it's the second case of a parallelogram when the measure of its two sides and the diagonal is given. So construction of a parallelogram is ABCD 6.5 and BC is 4.5 centimeter. So we draw AB 6.5 centimeter and with BS radius draw an arc of 4.5 centimeter. Taking B as our radius, we again draw an arc of 4.5 centimeter. Now A as a center with radius 7 centimeter, draw an arc intersecting first arc at C. So here again we taking A as a center, we again draw an arc which cut the first arc at A. Okay, and that's how we get a point C, and we join that point with the A. Now with center A and radius 4.5 centimeter, we draw another arc, and that, okay, and taking C as a center, we again draw the arc at point A, and that's how we get the other point D. And now ABCD is the required parallelogram. So this is the home task. Do exercise 13.1, question number 1, 2, 3 in book. Okay, these all are objective questions, so you have to do in your book. And do question number 5, question number 6, question number 8, 11, 13, 15 in your geometry copy. So that it's all, this is all from my side, and we will meet tomorrow, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.